All right. I think we will wait just a moment here because I think that I think we're still waiting on Chip Heitkamp from Doran Whittier. He will be an important attendee, so we'll give him just a minute or so to jump on, and then we will formally begin.
Very good. Well, hello, John McCarthy. How are you?
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, great. It looks like Chip and Scott are both here, so I think let's get started. So I will call the June 13th, 2023 meeting of the Police and Court Building Committee to order. As the recent amendments to the open meeting law allows, the Police and Courthouse Building Committee will continue to hold meetings remotely. Adequate alternative access to this meeting is provided through the Zoom link that is available on the city's website, and all votes will be taken by roll call vote. Just to run down in attendance today, we have myself, Ryan Knowles, IT Director for the City of Gloucester, as the chair of the committee. We have Ed Conley, Chief of Police, John Dunn, the CFO for the city. We have Scott Lipker from CMS, Chip Heitkamp from Doran Whittier, John McGonigal from Rich, WT Rich, our GC, Christopher McQuaid from the courts, John McCarthy, who is our a citizen representative on the committee, John Rich from WT Rich as well, Joseph Balbo, Officer Joseph Balbo from the Gloucester Police Department, Officer Sean Bushy from the Gloucester Police Department. Currently absent, we have from the committee is Mike Hale, DPW Director, and Officer Heidi Fiala. Sorry, I didn't hear that. I don't know, it looks like Scott froze, but Mike Hale, DPW Director, and Officer Heidi Fialo both are absent, but we have a quorum, so we can get started. I do not believe that we have any minutes from the previous meeting to approve. I think that those are in process, but once those are, we will formally review and approve those. So we will skip that agenda item and move straight to the second agenda item, which is a presentation and discussion regarding the current state of the project, anticipated next steps, and impact on the building committee. We'll have representatives from WT Rich, CMS, and I believe Doran Whittier presenting here. I don't know if we want to maybe start with Chip, if that makes sense.
Sure, I can go first. On the architectural side, we are currently we were processing all the paper from WT Rich. We have a number of submittals, RFIs have come through, working through all that. Some coordination is underway with their BIM coordination. So we're working through all of the systems in the building, making sure everything fits, kind of adjusting where we need to adjust. So that's where that is. And, you know, that's kind of our big push right now, is to keep these guys, keep up with these guys who are submitting an awful lot of stuff to us, because, well, that's what they do, and we have to process it all, coordinate it with our consultants and return it to them. Sometimes it comes back to us again, just to finish them off. Sometimes, you know, we're good to go right out of the gate. So that process is well underway. I'm moving pretty well. I know some work has started in the building, which I know John will talk to in a little bit. But I think from a architectural side, that's kind of the update. The one item of business, if I can, is discuss the proprietary items. So on every job, you know, the owner kind of has some items that they deem important enough to not want to bid out and not accept alternate products for. There's not a lot of them on this job because of just the type of job this is as a renovation. But the town does have some stuff that, you know, they would prefer to have proprietary, and you know, we can run through those right now. There's just, you know, I think 4 of them to go through. If you don't mind, I can share screen. Ryan, does that make? Sure.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I just made you co-host, so you should be able
All
to
right, great.
share.
Perfect. So if I do this right, and then I hit share, this should all work. So again, we draft a memo basically stating that, you know, due to Mass General Law, we're required to, you know, identify materials in the specifications that, you know, we don't, you know, seek out 3 manufacturers for, and we support that with memos based on why it's in the best interest for the town for them to proceed in this way, because it does, you know, it is a little different of a process, but this at least gives you, you know, some paper, some documentation to support your needs. So for example, one item is in some areas where you would traditionally do a carpet, but carpet doesn't have all of the benefits of something like a flocked flooring. So this flocked flooring product is a product that's highly durable, highly cleanable, and has great acoustical values as well. So it kind of feels like a carpet. It performs like a more of a resilient flooring from a maintenance perspective. So it's very low maintenance. It's very high durability, great acoustical values. The downside is not many companies make this a product that's comparable. So when you publicly bid this, you would say, I would like to get flocked flooring in my project. However, only one company is going to be able to have that product. So, you know, the other companies that you would bid out to for your 3 or equals, you know, for Mass General Law, you'd basically be presented a carpet sample that would be a much lesser product, an inferior product. So this, by presenting this memo and authorize if this board was to vote in approval of this proprietary item, this would, you know, allow the project to proceed with the flooring, you know, that is desired and was planned for in the project. And this is not, there's not a ton of this on the job. I believe this is limited to some office spaces. It's not, and maybe not even all office spaces. So it's not a big sample, but it is something that we just have to get the paperwork, you know, processed for. So that's an example of one of the items. And I don't know if we want to review these as we go, or let me go through the whole list and then we can see if there's any questions.
Well, maybe
that-
it makes sense, Chip, to actually take each one up for a vote, because then I think that
Okay.
when we have a motion on the floor, there's a option for discussion, you know,
Okay, sure.
with the committee on the motion. So I think it
Sure.
actually makes sense. So rather than trying to go through all of them and have to loop all back, let's just,
Sure.
so is there a motion on the floor to accept this flocked flooring by Forbo Flooring Systems as a proprietary item?
So moved, and just make a comment. Chip, I'm wondering if on your cover memo, you can just add a paragraph that says, you know, we're looking at the following 5 items, just so we're able to kind of track these
Sure.
things as they come up. So that
No
would be
problem.
great.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, so we
I'll
have a
second that motion. I'll second the
Second.
motion.
The motion is seconded by Chief Conley. Is there any discussion on this proprietary item, the flocked flooring by Forbo Flooring Systems, from the committee? Seeing none, let's take it up for a roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
John McCarthy,
Yes.
John Dunn,
Yes.
Michael Hell is absent, Ryan Knowles, yes. Chief Fitzgerald, I think, is also absent. Sergeant Joseph Balbo,
Yes.
Officer Heidi Fiallo is absent, Officer Sean Butchie,
Yes.
and Chris McQuaid.
I believe Chris McQuaid's a non-voting member, Ryan.
He is not voting. Okay, all right. Then the motion passes 6 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 absent. Okay,
Excellent.
I think we can
Okay.
proceed, Chip.
Okay, great. And then I'll just, as far as who will be deemed the voting body, would that just be the chair of the committee? When-
Go ahead, John.
Yes, I think that's probably, that's probably the best way to do it.
Okay, so we'll just process this in the background. That's fine. Just clear that up now before I forget. Hardware systems, the city of Gloucester has, a number of public facilities. It's in their best interest to streamline that keying process and hardware process, so that building to building, you have some consistency in the products. So this basically the spec section for hardware basically syncs up the owner's preferred hardware that they're using on all their other buildings. I know recently on the school projects, we were doing a little update, and they're starting to, in those older buildings, update to this system. So, not all the buildings are there yet, but this is how it's progressing. So we just wanted to keep up with that. This was a request of the DPW to be in the project and have this be proprietary. So any discussion on hardware and keying?
Do we have a motion to accept the hardware and keying per the list listed that Chip has here, to accept it as a proprietary item?
So moved.
Motion by John Dunn. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Chief Conley. Is there any discussion from the committee regarding this item? Seeing none, let's take it up for a roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
John McCarthy,
Yes.
Michael Hale is absent. Ryan Knowles, yes. Assistant Chief Fitzgerald is absent. Sergeant Joseph Balbo,
Yes.
Officer Heidi Fiallo is absent. Officer Sean Bushy.
Yes.
The motion passes.
You
Did I get
need-
anyone? Everyone?
You need one from me, Ryan.
I'm sorry,
So-
John Dunn.
Yes. Yes.
I believe the motion passes. 6 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 absent.
Excellent.
Move on to the next.
Fire protection system. This is just a lock box that the fire department uses to access keys when they need to access a building in an emergency situation. So Knox is the company that would work for their keying system. So this one is, you see this on pretty much almost every public job. Unfortunately, they just have the market and there is no other options, and this is what everyone uses. So it is still, but nonetheless, we do need to process this as a proprietary item, but it is the standard and is in the project. So any comment on the Knoxbox rapid entry system?
All right, do we have a motion on the floor to accept the Knoxbox rapid entry system as a proprietary item?
So moved.
We have a
Second.
second from, the motion is moved and seconded. Any discussion from the committee? Seeing none, let's take it up as a roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
John McCarthy,
Yes.
John Dunn.
Yes.
Michael Hale is absent. Ryan Knowles, yes. Assistant Chief Joseph Fitzgerald is absent. Sergeant Joseph Balbo.
Yes.
Officer Heidi Fiallo is absent. And Officer Sean Bushy.
Yes.
Motion passes 6 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 absent.
And then the integrated security system for the building, similar to the hardware. This is kind of the platform, the technology platform that the city is utilizing to put all of their building security on the same platform. Genetec is the company that is their equipment and software. I believe it's a 2-part system, but it basically is what the city is using, and we are and as part of that, we'll be working directly with their vendor, and I basically think this is like the project will provide infrastructure for this, but a lot of the equipment for this system is actually through BCM, who's the city's vendor for Genetec. So again, this is to synchronize all of the city buildings on the same security system. So
Great. Do we have a motion on the floor to accept the Genetec integrated security system as a proprietary item?
So moved.
Second,
Motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion from the committee? Seeing none, let's take it up as a roll call vote. Chief Conley,
yes.
John McCarthy,
Yes.
John Dunn,
Yes.
Michael Hale is absent. Ryan Knowles, yes. Assistant Chief Joe Fitzgerald is absent. Sergeant Joseph Balbo,
Yes.
Officer Heidi Fiallo is absent. Officer Sean Bushy.
Yes.
Motion passes 6 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 absent.
and that is the end. So Ryan, I will forward these to your attention, and we'll just get these signed and then returned. And then we'll put them in the file, and we'll have them for a rainy day if needed.
Great.
Great, thank you.
All right, is that the conclusion of your portion, Chip?
Yeah, that is the quick CA update on the architect side and the proprietary items, and appreciate everyone's time.
Excellent. Do we want to move on to either John McGonigal or John Rich from the WT Rich side next?
Yeah, I can take it. So over the past couple weeks, we've mobilized on site. We've demoed the courtroom to set that up for actually the OPM trailer. And we've started the install of infrastructure for the temporary dispatch for when the police move up there for their temporary location during phase 2 of the project. Over the next couple weeks, we're going to continue our mobilization. We'll be dropping our site trailer. After the 4th of July, you'll see some construction temporary fencing go up. This will all help us move forward in terms of getting the police station moved up to level 2. And then the majority of our construction work really to meet with the project during phase 2, which is scheduled to start, middle to the end of July and run until May of 2024. But right now we have a couple subs on site, just making sure that we're moving forward towards that July goal of getting the police station up there. Kind of what Chip said, and just hopping off of that is a lot of paperwork on the front end, making sure that we are set up for when we have a majority of subcontractors on site. So working out a lot of the kinks now, so that way when we get on site, we are ready to go full steam ahead. Other than that, I don't really have much of an update currently.
Thank you, John. Do you want to move to Scott, I think, next from CMS? I think that Scott, I may not have a ton of updates, but I think that we do need to vote on a particular item for some change orders.
Sure. Can you hear me okay right now? I noticed, I think I
Yep.
got messed up in the beginning. All right, perfect. I'd just like to present the 3 bills for the month. We received 1 bill from Dorn Whittier for bill number 151 for $24,826.15. We have application number 1 from WT Rich for $196,878. And we have a bill GPD number 4 from CMS for $34,000 for a total monthly recommendation of $255,704.15 that we would like to present for approval.
All right, do we have a motion to accept the recommended requisitions from CMS in the amount of, can you just give us the amount once more, the total amount?
Yep, I can share my screen if you'd like, but it's $255,704.15.
So $255,704.15. Do we have a motion to accept this recommendation?
I'll make a motion that we accept the recommendation of payment on $255,704.15.
Second.
Motion is seconded. Do we have any questions or discussion from the committee on this recommendation? Seeing none, we'll put it up for a roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
John McCarthy,
Yes.
John Dunn,
Yes,
Michael Hale is absent. Ryan Knowles, yes. Assistant Chief Joseph Fitzgerald is absent. Sergeant Joseph Falbo.
Yes.
Officer Heidi Fiallo is absent. Officer Sean Bushy.
Yes.
The motion passes. 6 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 absent.
All right, great. Thank you. And then in terms of a total project budget update summary, we are been tracking this and everything's looking good. We've, with this bill included, we've expended about 1.3 million for or 6.75% roughly. And we have 1 change order currently, change order number 1 in the amount of $1,524. I believe we should vote on the change orders. Change order 1 is again $1,524. We'd like to present for approval. And any questions?
Can you tell us what the change order is for specifically?
Sure. John, do you want to just do that real quick? You mind?
Sure. So,
John McGonigal?
so there's actually 3 change orders within the one. So 2 of them are no cost. One is some plumbing pipe that was existing that needs to be demoed. One is for the temporary dispatch work. It's just more moving some of the work that was in phase 2 into phase 1, which again, that was no cost. And then the one cost was for the electric air curtain. Just a little mix up, I think, within the design process, but we got that all worked out. It's just some more, I believe it's just some more wiring chip, some added conduit, but yeah, very small pennies.
So just to add this change order, these items we reviewed and are going to be an owner's contingency item. This wouldn't fall under WT Rich's CM contingency. So we've in our budget, we're drawing the 1524 the contingency.
All right, so the total amount in terms of total monetary amount is $1,524.
Correct.
Do we have a motion to accept 2 no-cost change orders and 1 change order in the amount of $1,524?
do we have actual numbers for these these change orders have numbers? Is there one covering all three items or are they?
Yes, this is change order one covering the three items, and we will send you a backup of this. I'll send you the payment recommendation letter that I just spoke about with a budget update, as well as the change order and the backup.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve change order number one.
I'll second that motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do we have any discussion regarding this item from the committee? Change order one. Seeing none, let's move to a roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
John McCarthy,
Yes.
John Dunn,
Yes,
Michael Hale is absent. Orion Knowles, yes. Assistant Chief Joseph Fitzgerald is absent. Sergeant Joseph Balbo,
Yes.
Officer Heidi Fiallo is absent. Officer Sean Bushy.
Yes.
Motion passes 6 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 absent.
Very good.
Is there anything else on your side, Scott?
Nope, that's all I have.
All right, so moving on to the third item on the agenda was what we actually, I think, just did, which was the approval of the new requisitions as part of Scott's presentation. So we're finished with that. The last item is any other business matters that are not known at the time of posting that may legally come before the committee. Is there anything that anyone would like to discuss or raise as part of the discussion before we conclude, whether it be from a committee member or anyone from Doran Whittier, WT Rich, or CMS? All right, well, seeing none, then I would like if someone would make a motion to adjourn. I believe that we can finish this off.
so moved.
Second.
A motion to adjourn with a second. Let's take a roll call vote and then we can all be done. Chief Conley,
Yes.
John McCarthy,
Yes.
John Dunn,
Yes,
Michael Hale is absent. Ryan Knowles, yes. Assistant Chief Joseph Fitzgerald is absent. Sergeant Joseph Balbo,
Yes.
Officer Heidi Fiallo is absent. Officer Sean Bushy.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn passes 6 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 absent. Thank you all. We will be in contact as we kind of have set forth. We'll try to make these meetings on a monthly cadence, and I will try as hard as I can to keep them to a half an hour. Thank you all.
very good.
Thanks,
Thank
Ryan.
you.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thank you.